Welcome to another episode of the Central Circle Podcast, top one podcast representing what I think would probably be any guy's dream. Because what guy doesn't want to sit with his fellow guys and talk about football?
Sing?
Talk.
Sit. Okay, I thought you said sing and...
No, sit and talk about football.
Just ask him.
Chooks, Alpha, are you okay, bro?
I'm just asking, man.
Okay,
I mean, sing.
I love to be here. I love to be here with Chooks, obviously.
Hey, my guy, what's up?
My guy, what's up now?
How you doing?
Alpha, not too well because football is not, I'm not seeing as much football as we would like, but it is what it is. Kelvin, bro, how's it going, man?
Man, good to be here. I think I missed a couple of editions.
You missed.
No, I've been busy, but I've been keeping up with you guys. You guys have been doing amazing work, like talking football the way it should be talked about. You talked about the Euros. It was crazy. Crazy.
That's Chappie, bro.
I'm good. Yeah, all right.
Chappie
It's 100.
Yes,
Chappie and Chooks on an eye this day like this. Make I first observe.
You know they see the shake go outside. If you open door now, go look at the see shake go up and down.
I'm drinking
They
alcohol.
don't shake. They wear glasses now, so shake they touch your eyeball.
You know about the shaggy, right? But
Yeah.
there's the shaggy. But football kind of eases things, right?
Like-
when you talk about football,
But there's no
you
football
kind of
to make the shake go away.
There is.
You can't really complain of not having football during this period, right?
I mean,
You had
the Olympics...
the end of the League One,
Yeah,
the end of the League
preseason is
Formula One.
ongoing.
Aside from the preseason, you had the Euros, you had Copa America.
Okay.
Let's not talk about. So you compared to like a couple of years ago or last season for one, right? So last season, at the end of the season, we waited over 70
What team
days
do you
before we
support?
saw
What team do you
football.
support?
I'm
United,
Ghana.
right?
Arsenal.
Okay.
So
Ghana, okay, fine.
you say
I wanted to ask you of the 2-3 Gunners preseason games. Can you mention 3 or mention 5 starters in those games? You see how boring it is. I'm not sure you're not even concentrating.
so the thing-
We don't even concentrate. Those preseason they're just
hold on.
preambles. man.
Like, bro, I agree with you. Yeah, I will touch on preseason. But here's the thing: just to address something you said really quickly, I don't care. I don't care what happened last season. I don't care what happened years before. I want to watch ball back to back as often as possible. I'm not hearing things like, oh, they are protesting. They want to talk about their player. They are overworking the players. It's not my business. Earn your 200K in a week. Anyway,
Get on the field.
one thing we do have to console ourselves. Again, just a reminder on the Central Circle podcast, we strictly focus on football, right? So the Olympic Games, they love beautiful games. I'm sure there's people who have a flair for track and field and all the other stuff, but we focus on football. And then we're Nigerians, so the Super Falcons are Nigeria's representative at the Olympics from a football perspective. And they're not doing too shabby, which is
would you call that not too shabby?
Really?
In terms of eye test, right? They've not played too badly. The same thing against Spain. Of course, we know Spain. They came in with their tiki-taka, Aitana, Alexis, all of those girls from Barcelona, those Barca girls playing against our girls. I just felt that we could have done better. The second game, for one, I know Ajibade saw one clear-cut opportunity in the first half. She couldn't convert. The second half, the same thing. When you're playing a team like Spain, a team like Brazil, the moment you get a chance, right? Score.
Clinical.
And people were talking about Azizat Oshola, Agbabola. She didn't play the first game. I think she got a cameo in the first game. Then they put her in the second game. And it's still the same Azizat Oshola for the national team. So the Azizat we see at club level and the Azizat we see at the national team, those are two different people. We need to see. We're just here to talk about football, right? But look at what our girls did in basketball.
Yes.
We need to replicate the same
Super
thing
impressive.
in football. We are the biggest brand when it comes to football in Africa, right? For the past 2 decades, we've been the best. So for basketball, they've been the best for say a decade.
Three decades.
For 3 decades, right? For basketball, those girls have just been there for a decade. And look at what they're doing at the world stage. Right? The Super Falcons need to translate what we've been doing in Africa to the world stage. Go to the World Cup, beat those people from Europe, beat those South American people, go to the Olympics, beat people. Just be beating them anyhow. You are there just dulling us, giving us L's. We need W's in football.
I watched both games. Like I said, the Super Falcons are the biggest brand in football from Africa. Which, as a matter of fact, we played our first World Cup in 1991, 3 decades ago. Right? Over 30 years ago. And it's almost like we have not grown beyond Africa.
Well,
It's sad. It's sad because
Safe to say we are local champions.
Yeah, we are local champions, and we can't keep being local champions for 30 years without no significant improvement in the world stage, where we go for competitions and we can't even win games in competitions, in world competition. Then what's your local pedigree about, right? So the games were just. I mean, I was very disappointed, not because the Spaniards or the Brazilians were not great teams to play, but just because we are not able to live up to the expectations when it matters the most. For example, the game against Spain, we had loads and loads of chances, one-on-one chances, and we could not convert them. And that's what makes us different from the other people, because when those teams
they don't waste their
got
chances.
that one chance they got, they took it, and that's it. So there's no need to beat about the bush and start saying this one. We are terrible. And football is all about winning. If you play all the whatever and you're not winning, especially when you have clear-cut chances to score, and whatever you play during the game doesn't matter, because when it matters the most, you do not take the chance. That's it.
That's like very, very. You heard it here first from Chooks. The Falcons have been terrible at the Olympics.
I said that.
Yeah, stand that. Chappie, I want to get your thoughts, but it's on the condition that, please, I want you to do your very best, right? I know it's going to be very difficult, but I want you to do your very best to not make a Liverpool reference. If you can do that for me, I'll really appreciate it.
I don't have anything to say about the Falcons.
You don't have
Aziza Shola used to play for Liverpool. Used to play for Liverpool. She played for Arsenal as well.
So
There's a link.
Don't give Chappie the opportunity to say it wasn't him that did it this time. It wasn't that. Anyway, so like just to wrap up on the Olympics and what we've seen thus far. I mean, just to wrap up on that, because due to our collective incompetence in, Falcons, Super Eagles, everybody, we only have the Falcons to talk about at the Olympics now. So I just want to say, I don't want to overflog this issue. We spoke about this on the last episode. I'll touch on it now. Nigeria as a country, football is important to us. That needs to translate to what we see on the pitch. You mentioned something in your analysis of the Spanish team about how they came and then they played tiki-taka football, which if you watch Spain, the male national team,
it's identical.
It's identical to what you see.
It's an identical philosophy.
Yeah, what you see in the female national team as well. So Nigeria as a country, we've come too big. We've created too many legends. There's been too many people who have left our country and gone and shone abroad for us to be in this situation where you watch a Nigerian team and you do not know what to expect. So there needs to be, people need to sit down and have meetings where, okay, right, Nigeria as a footballing nation, what type of football do we want to go for? And then we see where it goes on from there. But anyway, best of luck to them. I hope they progress. We'll see what happens. Wrapping up on the Olympics, let's touch on something that... So, first of all, let me get your thoughts on this. Because this is something that we talk about football a lot. In fact, we talk about it so much to the point where it even affects how we see the Community Shield. Of course, that one is... We'll get there as it starts to get nearer to the time. But we have this idea in football sometimes, depending on whether it's your club doing well or your club not doing well, preseason seems to matter or not matter, depending on what's going on. And we've heard managers talk about it. We have managers talk about how, first of all, some managers are very, very adamant about how important it is that they get their signings in time for preseason, and they have their new signings able to basically practice tactics with the team during preseason. We've had some managers emphasize performances in preseason. We've had some managers not prioritize performance in preseason. We've seen teams perform very well in preseason and translate that form into the season. We've seen teams perform very well in preseason and have disastrous seasons. We've seen teams have disastrous preseasons and go out and perform brilliantly. So before we even move on, because I've just told you how much of a complete cluster mess this thing can be, but let me get your thoughts. Is the way a team performs in preseason validly, candidly, is it an indicator to how well they will perform during the season? Chappie, go first because you're eager.
Okay, first of all, we have to remember the reason why we have those preseason games. is to test tactics, test new signings, new ideas, new opportunities, everything. Try to see those intrusive thoughts you have as a manager during the season, where your mind will tell you, this is my left back, make I put that for 9 match, really good. The preseason is that period you let those intrusive thoughts work. You can try experiment so many things, see how it works, and if it doesn't work, you can have the opportunity to divert and change or try some other things. Especially most of your players won't be available during the preseason because most of them have represented their nations.
Yeah,
Most of the players are on vacation. Most of the players are injured or something. Some are rehabilitated, while some you've got new signings. So the preseason most of the time is just a time of the season where you just tend to, let your hair out, let your wings, expand and try to see what you can do during the season. I've always said it's a clout seeing Manchester City struggle during preseason. It's always a clout when you see City struggle during the preseason because we all know what they will do during the season. Once the season starts, we all know how dangerous they are. We've seen Arsenal play good football, which is they're always playing good. The past 2 seasons they've been playing excellently well. Now they've gotten new signings too, which I feel it is actually a great idea for the team. We've seen other teams too play great football, except the Blue Boys. Except the Blue Boys. Except the
Blue Boys.
I'm not calling any name. but we all know the Ballon Blues, yes. But we all know who we are talking about here. We have the same thoughts. Understand? Exactly. So
Oh my God.
now we see that there's a difference between sky blue and deep blue. The sky blue is
Ambulaba.
high, the deep blue is close to deep blue sea. So one is flying high, the other we'll see when the season starts. So to me, I feel the preseason is just, it's just like the litmus test
springboard,
where you
yeah.
test everything. Yeah.
So I want to get everyone. So do you, or very very quickly, do you agree with what Chappie has said, or
Chappie said a lot, right?
yeah, he did
But
actually
I'm going to pick the fact that sometimes when you do well in preseason, you do well during the season. It translates to the season. So you could do 100% in preseason, and when the season starts, right, then you start facing main competition, major competition. People who have played against you for a couple of seasons, a couple of years. They know your tactics and all of that. And one thing you also need to understand is, okay, aside from Arsenal playing Manchester United, Liverpool during preseason, you get to play other teams from other parts of Europe who are less competitive and all of that. Shout out to Chelsea who lost to Celtic. For example, if Arsenal is doing well during preseason, I think it's going to translate to the main season. And if Chelsea is messing up during the preseason, I think it's also going to translate into the season.
We go like
The same thing that happened last season.
You are
It
a
happened last
fireman.
season. They didn't do well in preseason. They got into the season proper, and they also did not do well.
right. Okay.
So
fair.
I think it works both ways, right? You could do well and still try it. So it's tricky, right? Because another thing you need to consider during preseason is that you try, like Chappie had said, you try out a lot of players, new signing, younger players. I checked the Arsenal lineup and I saw all of the starters on the bench. I saw 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 18-year-olds start the game. It also puts them in the right frame of mind that, okay, this could be your third backup to so player, right? But if you do it in preseason, generally, it's supposed to translate by some measure to the main season.
That's a fair comment. Chooks, your team happens to be one of the teams that's doing actually pretty well during the preseason. So
Preseason lords.
so what do you think? Like, is preseason indicative of how a season will pan out for a team?
Apart from the fact that it's an opportunity for players, for clubs or coaches to test new players and all of all that, it's also an opportunity there's also a commercial side to this where clubs are trying to expand their global presence and image and everything. So they take these stores to different countries where they believe they have an emerging fan base and just do stuff around there, talking about the US, Asia, and all that stuff. I think there was a time a club came to Nigeria to do it. I can't remember.
There was a Manchester United at the time. Yes, there was a Manchester United.
So that was in the height of the Van Nistelrooy preseason games. Created that opportunity for these new players to get a feel of both acceptance on the pitch and acceptance from the fans. Right, so the fans are able to watch the game, these new players, without when they are not in.
Yeah, no pressure.
There's no pressure. There's no competition and everything and all. And at the end of the day, you're able to pick out what particular position will fit these players when the main season starts.
So you look at a team like Arsenal, they've not made too many changes to their squad. It's a manager that has been there. I think Arteta has been at Arsenal
going on 5 years now.
5 years now. So it's a manager. There's not really been that seismic change in the team. It's players he knows. So he kind of like has an idea of what he's going to do with his team. Now, especially when you play for a club like Arsenal or United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Liverpool,
not Chelsea.
I'm not sure about Chelsea, but teams that have players who go off for these major international tournaments, and then they have to take an extended break. So you have your manager maybe fielding an entire 11 from the under-18s team. They're not going to feature heavily during the season.
Yeah.
He knows that when his senior players get back, they're the ones who are going to feature. So for a team like that, preseason may not mean so much. However, I would say, if you're a Chelsea fan and you should be watching this, and you are watching this, you should be worried. Because this is effectively, your manager has come in, it's a new manager. It is effectively a brand new team. In fact, to be honest with you, I think at this point, Chelsea probably has 2 or 3 brand new teams. Like, they probably signed 2 11s.
They have Chelsea. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah, please.
Chelsea have 11 goals. They've been signing everybody. See, I don't tell now. Try to know where they work out. Try to know where they go.
This is the point. The point I'm trying to make is.
Better go sign with you. Don't
you guys have got a manager, right? Who is just coming from Leicester at the lower division. So he's new to the job. It's even better if you're new to the job, you have like, I don't know, I'm going to mention some old names, don't mind me, but you're coming into this club, you're new to the job. Maybe you have a Frank Lampard or a John Terry that's been at that club 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And you can lean on that leadership and kind of like, you've come in, you're fresh, you're baby faced, you don't know this pressure. You have a bunch of young players who are they're fresh, they're baby faced, they don't know this pressure. You have to phase out a team out of that and make it work. I really believe, that the banter club this season
would be Chelsea.
Will be Chelsea.
Definitely.
I could be proven wrong.
I will be drinking their tears as usual.
I could be
Let's
proven
drink to the tears.
wrong. And you see their fans. Their fans.
And
That time when Chelsea be Chelsea,
Yeah.
you go see different type of their Chelsea. You go see the Samsung go. You go see Samsung mobile. Or you go see Fly Emirates. The Fly don't fly come out.
Fly merit at the point.
The Fly don't they trek. You don't peel.
Like
La flew.
Yo, Chelsea is. I don't know. We'll move on anyway. I like. So anyway, I will say this. This is probably one of the most, except you're a Chelsea fan, to which I have no comment. But this is one of the most quiet transfer windows I've seen, and it's very surprising because this is not even January. Like usually, you're used to a lot of clubs saying, January transfer window they won't be that active, but this is the summer transfer window. And you know what? It's not really been, there's not been a lot of movement. I mean, obviously everybody knew Mbappe was going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But, with teams, especially in the Premier League, there's been some movement. There's not been major movement. I will just touch on a few. We know United. I think United have probably, again, this is excluding Chelsea. But United has probably been one of the more active teams in the transfer window. Joshua Zirkzee has been signed.
And Euro.
And Euro has been signed as well. There's also a bit of news that they might get it right back soon. There might be some exit for Wan-Bissaka.
Can I just say something?
Yeah, please.
There's something I observed about Manchester United. I've said this. I said it last season. I said that team is under a spell. It's under a very, very heavy spell. They need crusade in that stadium, in that team, in that club. When they signed Euro, I told one of my friends, I said, that's a panic buy. He said, why? I said, now, there's something agents of players do. They'll meet journalists to hype you up, make it look like 7-8 clubs are coming to buy you. Who is the player, for example, Euro. And then when the publication starts going throughout all newspapers and blogs and online, most of the clubs that are interested, maybe there are 2 or 3 clubs, the agents will say, there are like 8 clubs coming. And then one of the teams who is interested in signing that player will feel, we need to jump in and get this guy. There are 8 other people. We need to do that. And that's what happened to Manchester United. Mind you, Euro, it was initially Liverpool and what's this club?
Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the guy said he wants Real Madrid, so Liverpool opted out. And he was waiting for Real Madrid to bring the official contract.
Offer, yeah.
But the money Real Madrid were willing to pay, I think 30 million or thereabout.
I think it's just a 30 million player.
Yeah, but the team the clubs were saying it's too low. So all of a sudden Fabrizio brought out news and started saying, oh, this guy, so many teams, Liverpool, back Chelsea, blah blah blah. Now guess which team went to pay 50 million?
40.
Add-ons, everything made it 50. I'm telling you.
40 and just to clarify, yeah.
Add-ons. Now wait, let me complete the statement. You will definitely have your time. I'm going somewhere. So now, Arsenal, United bought this guy for 45 to 50 million with the add-ons. Now, mind you, this guy had 1 more year left on his contract. When you sign an 18-year-old player who has 1 year left in his contract, and then you buy that player for 50 million pounds, then you look at Arsenal, who did great business to sign Calafiori for about 35 million pounds, who had 4 years or 3 years remaining in his contract.
Yeah.
Which one is great business and which one is a gamble? Now, the guy's first game for United in preseason, the Euro guy, he didn't spend up 15 to 20 minutes on the pitch. Guess what happened? He got injured. Boom.
That's a very
what is wrong?
That's a very, very interesting. So what I would
the
say,
analogy is right in terms of the buy-in, but I don't think it's panic buy-in because they lost a couple of players.
Rafael Varane
left the club.
Yes.
I think they still want to use Maguire less, and they
either use him less or sell him.
So I think it's someone that is going to fit the ideology of the club. He's a young player. He's tall. He's good. He had a good season with his former club.
Yeah.
So
here's a couple of things.
in terms of the money, I think the money is high. But if you look at Saliba,
that's why I said
here's a couple.
Paid a lot for Saliba. And was just 18.
Here's a couple of things I'll touch on. So first of all, the United transfer strategy is actually markedly different from what they used to do because a whole different regime. This is not the United under Ed Woodward and all those other guys. The second thing I would like to say is that, again, like you rightly mentioned, Rafael Varane is gone, and removing Rafael Varane, however you judge his performance, he's actually probably been United's best centre-back at the time he's been there because you wouldn't put Maguire over him. Martinez has been injured for a majority of it. So you're getting an 18-year-old player, you're putting him on a 6-year contract, and comparatively, that's a player that has outperformed all your centre-backs for an extended duration of time.
Yeah.
Right? So the club says they will not, again, it's incentives. Real Madrid know this player wants to come to their club. So they've effectively told his club, this is what we'll pay. If you say no, we won't add any more money. We'll run this contract down and it'll come to us. If you're coming into that conversation, you need to offer more. Like, I want to play for you, right?
Yeah.
You've offered this amount of money. If you want me to come play for you, you can't offer what he offered because there's no incentive to come. Well, just hold on.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
no incentive to come to you otherwise. So when you look at it, and then this is something I want people to also put into context. United tried to buy Jared Brightwaite from Everton.
That was 50.
They made an offer of £60 million. Everton said that they were going to take nothing less for £80 million. Now here's what
because of the Maguire stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm analyzing. And this is what's very important because you have a new board of people coming in, and they're like, look, this club has made a reputation of being very, very comical in transfer market. You pay £85 million for Harry Maguire, you've had your pants pulled down.
Mm-hmm.
So this is an opportunity to be like, okay, yeah, we're not the type of club to spend that crazy amount of money on. And I want to see how Everton respond, because now Everton are in a financial fair play problem. They need to sell someone. They've already sold one of their big players, but they need to sell someone more. And they're negotiating with other clubs for the same Brightwaite at a lower cost. You can see the psychology that went into them negotiating with United.
Yeah.
So the point I'm just trying to make is Euro, 18 years old, £45 million with £40 million with performance-based add-ons
On a 6-year contract.
On a 6-year contract.
I think it's good.
I know that you don't like them, but it's not that bad of a deal. We're running short of time, so let's touch on other clubs. So, Liverpool, Arsenal, particularly Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I would say Arsenal hasn't been that active in the transfer market.
You see?
But just to finish off,
Okay.
because I expected they would probably go for a striker, but giving it more thoughts, this is why I'm looking at it from a perspective of, this is a team Arteta knows can perform well. There's no need to make any drastic changes in terms of anything. I heard some hours ago that they might go for a Leroy Sané. I'm not sure how that will work given playing time between him and
Saka.
Bukayo Saka. But the point is, Arsenal scored the most goals in Premier League last season. Arsenal kept the most clean sheets in the Premier League last season. I have a problem with Arteta because I feel like if you have those two things covered, I don't understand how you didn't win the league.
Yeah.
But somehow they didn't win the league. So, but the thing is, you know that you have a performance there. I personally think that, the problem last season, which is the problem that you probably had the season before, is mental steel. Because if you look at last season, you can tell this is where Arsenal lost. Arsenal lost that league title against Aston Villa.
Yeah, they did.
That was where they blew it against Aston Villa. So I think that performers are there, quality players are there. There just needs to be a hardness. And in that sense, I think not overspending it's not even overspending because we're not looking at this from a financial perspective. Not changing the team too much is actually a good strategy.
So I think for Arsenal, they don't really need much players, right? They've done well. The season, they lost Xhaka. They got in Kai Havertz. They still did well. So they only need a striker, a proper number 9 that will give them the goals. Gabriel Jesus has told us he can't even score those number of goals. They need a striker that will give them 25 to 30 goals a season. That was the same thing Manchester City did. They had Jesus. He wasn't giving them those number of goals. They got Haaland. Haaland gave them, was it 45, 50 goals in his first season in the Premier League? And they won the Premier League again. The second season, although he didn't do very well, he still gave them about 30 goals. If Arsenal, with the way they are playing currently, from right to left, they have Martinelli, Trossard, Saka, maybe Sané that we talked about. Then they get in a striker that will give them 30 goals. They are going to win that league. They're going to win the Premier League with 2 or 3 games to spare.
I mean, here's the thing, yeah. This is just an example you can use. Manchester City, yes, they won the league the season before they signed Erling Haaland. They had Gabriel Jesus there and they were scoring goals and they were okay. But you see the level that a Haaland can move them up to. So Haaland comes in, all of a sudden it's now a treble winning season.
Yeah.
As opposed to just winning the league. So I do think that there's benefit to be had for Arsenal if they do get someone, especially considering that they are becoming the almost their team, it's close. I really think this season coming up could be a massive opportunity.
It should be massive for Arsenal, yes.
I don't know what you guys are focusing on. Let's focus on the people that have come in. We have Ricardo Calafiori.
And I love this unveiling.
I love that signing.
The unveiling was amazing.
I actually really, really love that signing. A couple of people have left. Emily Smith-Rowe has gone to Fulham. I'm so happy about that.
To Marseille.
I'm so happy about that. I remember the last time.
I'm not really happy because he's one of ours.
He's one of ours, no problem, right?
Football fans have to talk like that.
He's one of us. I love him as a person, but his time in this current Arsenal setup is clearly over. Another person who needs to go is Edin Ketia. Another person who needs to go is Reece Nelson. Another person who needs to go is Vieira.
No. Vieira should stay.
Bro,
I think Vieira should stay.
Vieira needs to go. Vieira needs to go, and somebody. I'm sure that they can bring in somebody else.
Most of last season, Vieira was.
Yeah.
I like
Okay. So, I'm just saying, man. And again, somebody just to mention, I also feel very, very bad about someone who has left a very, very youthful prospect for Arsenal. That's Chido Obi Martin.
That's gone to
right? Who has
he gone or
he has gone?
He has.
It's a done deal. He's moved to Manchester.
So these things happen. Remember, we caught
I'm sad.
It's either you
I'm
go
actually very
or
sad.
you get caught.
I'm actually very sad about because I've watched him play a few times, and you see when we talk about our striking option and everything and all that, this is a kid who is just 16 and would have grown into the current setup.
How long will it take him to grow into that?
2-3 years. He's 16.
Do we have 2-3 years?
He's 16, bros.
Anyway, I
feel you.
You, the Arsenal fans, can have
Come on
that.
now.
I mean, just before we leave the transfer conversation, we will not leave this conversation without asking Liverpool and their number one fan in the world to step on and let us know what's going on, because I think Liverpool are in a very, very dicey situation themselves.
Perilous times.
It's different from, it's not as bad as what's going on in Chelsea, because Chelsea, new manager, new players, mascots, that mascot, the memes that will come out from that. But anyway,
pass the ball.
Liverpool, new manager, the old guard is still there. So he's coming in and he's working with players who have done it before. These are Champions League winners. These are Premier League winners. You know, so he has something to fall on, something to bank on. If he can, you know, there's a situation to manage there that he can come out of it unscathed compared to Chelsea, where I think it's going to be a ridiculous thing we'll see at the end. But as a Liverpool fan, I'm not really hearing things in terms of signings. And I'm asking you this particularly because I know there's a couple of players in Liverpool that you are dissatisfied with. You're Darwin Núñez, Diaz. These are players that you've had issues with, and you actually have been vocal about the fact that you feel like you would have won the league if it wasn't for Darwin Núñez. So what's going on? Are they doing anything to change?
Well, the new manager came in and he said something. He says,
how do you pronounce his name?
Slot. And Slot.
Good.
So he said he's going to assess the kids, the young boys first, because some of the senior team are still on vacation. So he says he assess the young boys first, see if there anyone he could promote. Now, mind you, we have a player called Bajcetic. He's a holding midfielder. He didn't play throughout last season because he was injured from 2 seasons ago. Yes. So throughout last season, he missed it. So now he's back in full fitness. Now we can't just go into the market and get another holding midfielder because why? We have Endo, we have Bajcetic. Now getting a third guy is going to create a little, but definitely we would love to get one more holding because I mean Bajcetic I think is 19 years old or maybe 20, still a young guy. Endo on the other hand is in his 30s, 31 years old, or probably will be 32 soon maybe. But at least you need somebody who is going to be a stable, a standard starter for his previous team who are going to bring into our team to create that, you know, experience, filling that void between the old Endo and the young Bajcetic, somebody who's in the middle.
Bridge the gap.
Yes,
right?
exactly. Now, we've not signed anybody, yes, but at the same time, I heard that August is going to be the month where Liverpool just go make their signings. Now, mind you, Liverpool are actually looking to get a central defense, which is one of the central halves. We need a replacement for Matip. We need a replacement for that. I heard we would be getting a wide player, which means either a left forward or a right forward or someone who can play on both sides. That's number 2. And then, just like I said, the holding midfielder, which is a 6. So it's one of those 3, or maybe those 3 signings can come at the same time. But at the same time, the manager is trying to assess the team, trying to make sure that he gives the kids their chance to explore. And the last time we had Nyoni who played great football and it's all good. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I hope to see, like, again, we still have like at least, I think maybe a month to go or so of the transfer window. Maybe you have a point there. Maybe some teams start to get a lot more active.
It's going to get frantic.
When it gets to the end, and then we'll see. We might see some panic buy.
Yeah.
That rounds up all the topics that we have to talk about today. It has been brought to my attention, though, that production has some questions for us. They want to test our knowledge. Usually that used to be my role. I would test the knowledge of Chappie's smiling because he used to win a lot. But anyway, so this is going to be very, very simple. Here's the format. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 12 questions. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. Each of us can pick at random number, 1 out of the 12 questions, and then they get to test our knowledge. And we have to answer these questions in 10 seconds. As always, or as expected, I will go first.
Go first.
Number 1. So, production, what's the question? Number 1.
Which country won the first World Cup?
Which country won the first World Cup? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a question, the answer to which I do not know.
I know the question. I know the answer. No.
Oh, come on, man.
Okay, please, what's the answer to that question?
Uruguay.
Let me tell you. It's Uruguay, 1930.
Uruguay, 1930.
Okay, moving on.
Uruguay.
Chooks.
I'm with a para of...
Question number 6.
In which World Cup did Maradona score his famous undergrad?
The 1986 World Cup.
Okay.
Guess what?
In Mexico.
Yo. These people are not playing, though.
Number 3.
3 countries have won the World Cup twice. Name them.
Italy, Germany, Brazil.
Wrong. It's Argentina, France, Uruguay.
Boom.
Germany has 3.
They
I
say
said
2.
twice.
Oh, twice.
Not
Oh,
2.
okay, 2. Okay.
IELTS.
Number 4. Is number 4 available? Let's go.
Which country has appeared in 3 World Cup finals but never won the competition?
3 World Cup finals, but never won.
I know the answer to that one.
But has never won it.
I know the answer to that one.
3 World Cup finals without winning it.
3, 2.
Relax now.
Fam,
That's
Tell
the
him.
Netherlands,
Netherlands.
yeah? That's the Netherlands. Number 7.
number 7. Hold on.
IELTS killed me though.
Ask me what I will use and fail
The
again.
record number of World Cup goals is 16. Scored by who?
Mario Klose, Germany.
Miroslav Klose.
Miroslav Klose, I'm sorry.
Mario go.
Mario came to my head. I
Correct.
said Klose and said the
next.
country, so.
Okay, question number 8. Yeah.
3 people have won the World Cup as a player and as a coach.
Ooh.
You're missing this.
Ooh.
You're missing this.
Wait, one is coming
There
to
are
my
3
head.
people.
Okay.
Yeah. Name 1.
Jokaev. Didier Deschamps, sorry, of France.
Nice. Nice.
That was simple, though.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
Simple.
That's good.
11.
11. I was the first Liverpool player to win the Ballon d'Or. I scored 40 goals for my country and I played in England and Spain. Who am I?
Michael Owen.
England and oh yeah.
Sad,
Oh my god.
Yes!
Oh,
Chappie! Dang! Oh, Chappie! That was easy.
Oh.
Chappie.
12-2, you know, because I was
Is number 10 available?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Let me see.
I have won number 7, 17, 28, and 9 in my career. Playing my football across England, Spain, Italy, Portugal.
I
Wow.
know
Call
who
the
that
numbers
is.
again.
I know who that is.
7, 17, 28, and 9.
Across.
Oh, bro, come on. This
England, Spain.
Spain,
Italy, Portugal.
Your time starts now.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's a thief, actually.
Yes, now, yes,
He's
yes.
If you had
He's a-
taken out Portugal, you would
He's
have
a
lost it.
thief. Like this guy is a very good. You have sense.
You have the last round now.
Okay, last
numbers
round.
are available?
What numbers are available?
So number 2 is available. Number 5, number 12, and number 9.
Give me number 9, please.
So number 9. 2 English players have won the
Jesus.
World Cup Golden Boot. Who are they?
Harry Kane and two English players. Harry Kane. Michael Owen.
No. Harry Kane and Gary.
Gary Lineker.
Gary
1986.
Lineker. I know Wayne Rooney has a
Number
terrible
2.
record.
2. Which country has won the most World Cup?
I mean, Brazil.
He's even Wayne.
I mean,
Easy.
I mean,
This guy's been lucky.
And wait, ladies and gentlemen, let's just put it out
Ladies
here
and gentlemen.
that I have won the quiz of today.
Look at Chappie's
I mean,
face.
That's over. I think we just need to finish it for finishing sake, right?
No.
I have played for Chelsea and spent my time in Turkey.
Turkey.
I have been crowned African Footballer of the Year.
I mean, stop, hold it.
Didier Drogba.
Wrong. Samuel Eto'o.
Samuel
No!
What's the question? Ask the question again.
The question is, I have played for Chelsea
Yes.
and spent time playing in Turkey. I have been crowned African Footballer of the Year 4 times.
Okay.
And
You did not wait. You
I
didn't
should have
wait.
waited.
Because Drogba actually played in Galatasaray.
Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Yes. That was easy.
Yes.
Last question.
Consolation
The 2026 World Cup will be hosted across 3 countries.
Easy.
It's almost
He's not happy. I mean, he's not happy, but I mean,
Number one, shout out to El Chapo. His country is representing. That's Mexico.
really?
Number two, shout out to
Kamala Harris.
Celine
Shout out to
Dion.
Donald Trump.
shout out to Drake. His country is representing.
That's Canada.
Drake has Canada.
Drake.
Then number one.
Shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, we all know who Kendrick Lamar represents. Man. Shout out to Kendrick. Oh no, who they play? Okay, shout out to this guy with the.
Bro, just answer the
Pulisic.
damn question.
USA, we're done.
Shout out to Pulisic, USA.
And ladies and gentlemen,
Congratulations,
you have a
to
new
you.
winner.
Congratulations.
I mean, you know,
Congratulations.
Chappie's not doing this.
I'll get you next week.
But, you know, I'm going to take this, you know, because...
So the
Like I say, right?
We'll catch you guys next week.